In 4D analysis, it goes beyond value investing, which is micro analysis. It also goes beyond technical analysis. Now, exactly what is 4D analysis is the projection of the time and the price. Now, the projection of the time, we have to understand that time is always constant. Time is always expanding. At least this is what we know. But however, the projection of the price into the future, it could be moving up or it could be moving down. And this is what we're going to study. And we're going to study into what is 2D analysis, followed by 3D before we move into 4D analysis. But before we discuss about this topic, please do take some time to look at the disclaimer below. We're going to use gold market in all our demonstration today. And of course, after this video, you can try this 4D analysis in other markets as well. Now, let's get started with our 2D analysis. Now, if you are a chartist and use chart alone or technical analysis alone, you are doing the 2D analysis. It's a very flat way of analysis. Is this. Now, after you have done your homework, you're getting ready to get into the market, but most of us traders especially, or even investor, you feel that there's this inadequacy of should I really get into the market. Now, if you are also a value investor, that means that you study into the micro analysis of things, that after you've done all this homework in a financial ratio, financial data, and you're still very hesitant of should I get into the market. And ultimately you did. You invested into these stocks, but guess what? These stocks, you waited for months and even years that it hardly moved. Now, if you are just looking into the micro analysis of things, which is value investing, this is one form of what I term it as depth analysis. Now, how about we enter into the 3D analysis, which is we combine the charts or technical analysis together with macro and or micro analysis and or other form of analysis. When we combine these two 2D analysis together, it's just going to bring us into greater insight on how we understand things, how we understand technical analysis, how we understand the macro, the micro combining together. It's just going to bring us into greater depth of understanding. Instead of looking at square as a square, now we are looking at this square in a 3D format. We're looking into the insights of the market. Let's get started with our 2D analysis, where it include the technical analysis and also the depth analysis. Now, in technical analysis, we can see that gold has been on the uptrend about 50 years by now, technically, since the 70s, 80s, millennium, up to today. Now, how about the 2D analysis on its macro analysis? Now, before 1970s, around the period before 1970s, gold has been trading at around 35 US dollars. And what happened to the 70s is when President Nixon removed the gold standard. So when this happened, is kind of literally is a divorce between the gold and the US dollars. Gold and US dollars is moving in the opposite direction. Now, this form of analysis is called what I call the macro analysis. Now, if you're going to study that alone, that is what I call 2D analysis. But if you're going to include the technical analysis that we're seeing here, it will explain the reason why gold has been going up over the last 50 years. And that is what I call the 3D analysis. It just brings greater depth. It's not just a story, which is a factual story that gold standard has been removed since the 1970s, but when we combine with the technical analysis, it kind of just bring in so much insight and meaning to why gold has been moving up over the last 50 years. Let's get started on the 4D analysis on the gold market. Now, 4D analysis is this. It is the study of the projected time and also the projected price. Now, for the projected price is this. With the easy money policy, now and moving forward, highly likely the direction of the price should be still going up. The direction of the gold, it should be still going up. And for the projection of the time, is always moving into the future, and it is constant, or it's always moving into the right side of things. Now, what we're trying to do here in the 4D analysis, it is not a prediction. Now, it is a projection based on the past data, based on the past 50 over years data. It could be technical analysis. It is also the historical development. Now, let's get started in how we can project the time and the price. And this is what we're going to do here, and that's called the primary uptrend line. And I'm going to project beyond here, beyond the current, and that's what we have, the primary uptrend line. And I'm going to draw another secondary uptrend line as well, where we have discussed that on many occasions. Now I'm going to project this. That's called the secondary uptrend line. And I'm going to move up all the way up here, and I'm going to shift this primary uptrend line back. It's about here. Now, and we also saw what happened over the last 2.5 years, where gold kind of stagnated over the last 2.5 years. And I would say this, that since the macro development is pointing towards a higher goal, so to me it is a matter of time that the goal may break above. And that's what we're seeing here over the last 2.5 years. Gold has been doing a range bound. Now, in behavior science, what happened to the market when it's range bound? It means that this range is not indefinitely, meaning that it will not last forever. This range is either going to break on the upside or the downside. Now, knowing the 3D analysis that we discussed before on technical analysis and the fundamental analysis or the macro analysis, so you have to make a good guess that likely which direction that the gold will break above. Now, my take here is that on the projection of price, highly likely in time to come, it may retrace and it should be breaking above this range in time to come. And this is my projection for the gold. As it move up, it may retrace. Market is always volatile in whatever market, is not just gold. As it retraces, I'll be constantly looking for a retracement buy or even down here. As the market consolidate, in my opinion, it is a matter of time using 4D analysis. It may break and go above. And this is what my projection in the future for gold to be. Most of us are analyzing the market in a 2D format. And I hope that it can transit into 3D and then into a 4D way of analyzing the market. And I've included some of the useful link in how we can hedge and trade into the gold market. Always enjoy studying into the correlation between the markets, and I hope today's sharing it will be helpful in how we invest and trade. Feel free to leave any comments below. I love to exchange ideas with you. Really happy that you stayed through this tutorial. You have many great trading weeks ahead.